13. Black celebrities who died from sexually transmitted diseases. What if some of the world's most celebrated black athletes, musicians, actors, and cultural icons were hiding a life-changing diagnosis while millions admired them from afar? Behind championship trophies, platinum records, and standing ovations were deeply personal battles with HIV, AIDS, and other devastating illnesses that forever changed their lives. Some courageously spoke out to educate the world, helping break the stigma surrounding these diseases, while others fought their battles quietly until it was too late. In today's video, we'll uncover the true stories behind these remarkable individuals and the powerful legacies they left behind. Stay with us until the very end, because one story may surprise you the most. Then share in the comments which story touched your heart. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for golden black legends. Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe's legacy extends far beyond tennis courts and championship trophies. Calm, intelligent, and remarkably composed under pressure, Ashe shattered racial barriers by becoming the first black man to win the singles titles at the US Open, the Australian Open, and Wimbledon. His unforgettable victory over Jimmy Connors at Wimbledon in 1975 remains one of the greatest upsets in tennis history. Yet while millions admired his athletic brilliance, few could have imagined that his greatest battle would come long after he had retired from professional competition. Following years of intense competition, Ashe underwent heart surgery in 1979 and a second operation in 1983. During one of those procedures, he received a blood transfusion that was later discovered to have been contaminated with HIV. At the time, blood screening for the virus had not yet become routine. In 1988, Ashe learned he was HIV positive, but chose to keep the diagnosis private to protect his family. 4 years later, after learning that a newspaper intended to publish the story without his consent, he courageously revealed the truth himself during a public press conference in 1992, rather than allowing fear or bitterness to define his remaining years. Ashe transformed his diagnosis into a mission of education and compassion. He founded the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the defeat of AIDS and became one of the world's most respected advocates for HIV/AIDS awareness. At a time when misinformation and stigma surrounded the disease, his honesty helped humanize millions of people living with HIV and encouraged greater public understanding. Arthur Ashe passed away on February 6, 1993, at just 49 years old from AIDS-related pneumonia. His death was mourned around the world, but his influence has never faded. Today, the largest stadium at the US Open proudly bears his name, ensuring future generations remember not only an extraordinary champion, but also a man whose dignity, courage, and compassion forever changed both sports and public health. His story proves that true greatness is measured not simply by victories, but by the lives touched long after the final match is over. Eazy-E. Eric Lynn Wright, better known as Eazy-E, transformed hip-hop forever by helping create one of the most influential rap groups in history, NWA. Growing up in Compton, California, he escaped poverty through determination, business instincts, and an unmistakable stage presence. Alongside Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC, Ren, and DJ Yella, Eazy-E helped introduce gangsta rap to mainstream audiences with groundbreaking albums like Straight Outta Compton. His fearless lyrics and distinctive voice made him one of rap's most recognizable pioneers, while his record label, Ruthless Records, launched the careers of numerous artists and reshaped the music industry. Behind the enormous success, however, Eazy-E's life changed dramatically in early 1995. After experiencing what initially appeared to be severe flu-like symptoms, he was admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. Doctors diagnosed him with AIDS, a revelation that shocked both the music world and the public. On March 16, 1995, Eazy-E released a heartfelt public statement confirming his diagnosis. He urged fans to learn about HIV prevention, seek accurate information, and protect themselves, transforming one of the most difficult moments of his life into an opportunity to educate others. Only 11 days later, on March 26, 1995, Eazy-E died from complications related to AIDS-induced pneumonia at just 30 years old. His sudden passing stunned millions because few people had known he was seriously ill. The tragedy also challenged widespread misconceptions that HIV affected only certain communities, reminding the public that the virus could impact anyone regardless of fame, wealth, or background. Nearly 3 decades later, Eazy-E's influence remains undeniable. NWA was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016, and his contributions to hip-hop continue inspiring artists worldwide. Although his life ended far too soon, his final public message helped raise awareness about HIV/AIDS during a critical period in history. His story stands as both a celebration of extraordinary musical achievement and a powerful reminder that knowledge, prevention, and compassion remain essential in confronting one of the world's most devastating diseases. Magic Johnson. Earvin Magic Johnson was already one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history when his life changed forever. A 5-time NBA champion, 3-time MVP, and the charismatic leader of the Los Angeles Lakers' Showtime era, Magic inspired millions with his dazzling passes, leadership, and infectious smile. By the early 1990s, he appeared to have everything: fame, fortune, and one of the most celebrated careers in professional sports. Then, on November 7, 1991, he delivered news that stunned the world: he had tested positive for HIV. At that time, HIV was widely misunderstood and surrounded by fear and misinformation. Many believed it was an automatic death sentence, and few expected a healthy athlete at the peak of his career to receive such a diagnosis. Magic immediately retired from the NBA and courageously revealed his condition during a nationally televised press conference. Instead of hiding, he chose openness, determined to educate the public and challenge the stigma surrounding HIV. His announcement transformed public awareness almost overnight, encouraging millions to learn about prevention testing and treatment. Although many predicted his career and life were over, Magic refused to surrender. Advances in antiretroviral therapy allowed him to manage the virus successfully, and he later returned to professional basketball, even competing in the 1992 Olympic Dream Team, which won the gold medal in Barcelona. Beyond sports, he built an extraordinary business empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars, while establishing the Magic Johnson Foundation, which focuses on HIV/AIDS education, health equity, and underserved communities. More than 3 decades after his diagnosis, Magic Johnson remains one of the world's most recognizable HIV advocates. His story demonstrates how medical progress, early treatment, and determination can completely change the outlook for people living with HIV. Rather than being remembered as a victim of disease, Magic transformed one of the darkest moments of his life into a mission of hope, proving that courage, education, and perseverance can inspire generations far beyond the basketball court. Kevin Peter Hall. Kevin Peter Hall possessed a remarkable physical presence that made him one of Hollywood's most unforgettable performers. Standing 7 feet 2 inches tall, Hall brought extraordinary life to characters that few other actors could portray. He became internationally famous for playing the alien hunter in Predator 1987 and returned to the role in Predator 2 1990, creating one of cinema's most iconic science fiction villains. Beyond the famous creature suit, Hall also appeared in films such as Harry and the Hendersons, where his warmth and expressive performance transformed Bigfoot into a lovable family character. His talent proved that great acting could shine even when an audience never saw the performer's face. Behind his growing success, tragedy struck unexpectedly. In 1990, Hall was seriously injured in a car accident and required surgery. During treatment, he received a blood transfusion that unknowingly carried HIV. At that time, blood screening procedures were still developing, and contaminated transfusions remained a heartbreaking reality for some patients. Hall later learned he had contracted the virus through the transfusion, not through personal lifestyle choices. His diagnosis devastated his family but also highlighted the importance of improving blood safety standards. Despite declining health, Hall continued working whenever possible and remained admired for his kindness and professionalism. Friends and colleagues remembered him as a gentle giant whose generosity matched his extraordinary stature. Sadly, complications from AIDS weakened his immune system and he developed pneumonia. Kevin Peter Hall passed away on April 10, 1991 at only 35 years old. Although his career was cut tragically short, Hall's influence continues to live on through some of Hollywood's most memorable fantasy and science fiction films. Fans still celebrate his performances decades later, while his story serves as a reminder of a period when HIV could be transmitted through contaminated blood before modern screening procedures became standard. His life remains a powerful example of talent, humility, and quiet courage in the face of unimaginable adversity. Fela Kuti, Fela, Anikulapo. Kuti was far more than a musician. He was a revolutionary voice who transformed African music and challenged political oppression throughout his life. Widely regarded as the creator of Afrobeat, Fela blended jazz funk, traditional Yoruba rhythms, and socially conscious lyrics into a powerful musical movement. Songs such as Zombie Water, No Get Enemy, and Sorrow, Tears and Blood criticized corruption, military dictatorships, and injustice in Nigeria, making him both a cultural icon and a frequent target of government persecution. Throughout his career, he was arrested dozens of times, beaten by security forces, and remained fearless despite constant threats. During the 1990s, rumors regarding Fela's health circulated for years, but he rarely discussed his medical condition publicly. On August 2, 1997, his brother, Dr. Olikoye Ransom Kuti, announced that Fela had died from complications related to AIDS at the age of 58. The revelation shocked many admirers across Africa and around the world. At a time when HIV/AIDS carried tremendous stigma, Fela's death sparked widespread public discussion about the epidemic and its devastating impact throughout the continent. Despite the controversy surrounding his personal life, Fela's artistic legacy has never diminished. His music inspired generations of performers, including international artists who continue drawing influence from Afrobeats, distinctive sound, and fearless political message. Today, his sons, Femi Kuti and Seun Kuti, continue carrying forward the musical tradition he established, introducing Afrobeat to new audiences around the world. Fela Kuti's story is one of extraordinary creativity, uncompromising courage, and lasting cultural influence. Although his life ended because of AIDS-related complications, his legacy extends far beyond the circumstances of his death. He remains a symbol of artistic freedom and social resistance, whose music still speaks powerfully against injustice. His life reminds us that while disease can claim a body, it cannot silence ideas powerful enough to inspire generations long after the artist is gone. Sylvester James Jr., known simply as Sylvester, possessed one of the most extraordinary voices in disco and soul music. Fearlessly authentic at a time when few performers openly challenged traditional gender expectations, he became an icon of both music and LGBTQ+ culture. His international hits, You Make Me Feel Mighty, Real and Dance Disco Heat, transformed dance floors around the world, while his electrifying falsetto and unapologetic individuality inspired generations of artists. Long before diversity became widely celebrated in popular entertainment, Sylvester proudly embraced his identity without compromise. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, Sylvester enjoyed enormous success, but the HIV/AIDS epidemic soon devastated the communities where he lived and performed. In 1987, he publicly acknowledged that he had been diagnosed with AIDS, choosing honesty during a period when many public figures remained silent because of fear, discrimination, and misunderstanding. Rather than withdrawing completely from public life, Sylvester continued recording music and participating in AIDS awareness efforts while encouraging compassion for those affected by the disease. As his health gradually declined, he focused on ensuring that his legacy would benefit others. Before his death, Sylvester arranged for royalties from his music to support organizations assisting people living with HIV/AIDS, demonstrating extraordinary generosity even during his final months. On December 16, 1988, he passed away from complications related to AIDS at just 41 years old. Although his life ended far too soon, Sylvester's influence has only grown stronger over time. His recordings remain dance music classics, while younger artists continue celebrating his courage, originality, and refusal to hide who he truly was. Beyond the music itself, his openness helped humanize HIV/AIDS during one of the epidemic's darkest periods. Today, Sylvester is remembered not only as an unforgettable performer, but also as a trailblazer whose authenticity changed popular culture forever. His remarkable life reminds us that genuine courage often comes from living truthfully even when the world is not yet ready to understand. Jermaine Stewart. Jermaine Stewart became one of the brightest stars of the 1980s. With his unmistakable voice, energetic stage presence, and unforgettable hit, "We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off." Released in 1986, the song became an international success, reaching the top 10 in several countries and establishing Stewart as one of the era's most recognizable pop and R&B performers. Unlike many dance hits of the decade, the song carried a message encouraging respect and emotional connection over casual intimacy, making it both commercially successful and culturally memorable. With additional songs such as Jody and Say It Again, Stewart built a loyal following while showcasing his smooth vocals and charismatic personality. As the music industry changed during the early 1990s, Stewart's commercial success gradually declined. Away from the spotlight, he was privately living with HIV, a diagnosis he chose not to discuss publicly during a period when fear and stigma surrounding the virus remained widespread. His condition eventually progressed to AIDS, and despite continuing to record music and perform whenever his health allowed, his physical strength steadily deteriorated. Throughout his illness, Stewart maintained remarkable privacy, allowing his music, rather than his personal struggles, to define his public image. On March 17, 1997, Jermaine Stewart died at the age of 39 from complications related to AIDS-associated liver cancer. His passing shocked fans who had not realized the seriousness of his illness. Friends and fellow musicians remembered him as a gifted performer with extraordinary warmth, professionalism, and kindness. His death also became another painful reminder of how severely the AIDS epidemic affected the entertainment industry during the 1980s and 1990s. Today, Jermaine Stewart's legacy extends beyond one unforgettable hit. His music continues introducing new generations to the vibrant sound of 1980s pop while reminding listeners that behind every successful performer is a human being facing private struggles. His story encourages compassion instead of judgment and highlights the importance of education, prevention, and continued medical progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS. Howard Rollins earned widespread respect as one of the finest dramatic actors of his generation, building a career defined by intelligence, emotional depth, and commanding performances. He first attracted national attention through acclaimed stage work before earning an Academy Award nomination for Ragtime 1981. Rollins later starred in celebrated productions including A Soldier Story King and the long-running television drama In the Heat of the Night, where his portrayal of Detective Virgil Tibbs showcased both quiet authority and remarkable sensitivity. At the height of his career, many believed he would become one of Hollywood's leading dramatic actors. Behind the scenes, however, Rollins struggled with serious personal challenges, including substance abuse and legal troubles that gradually damaged his professional reputation. During the 1990s, he was diagnosed with HIV, though he rarely discussed his illness publicly. As his immune system weakened, he developed complications associated with AIDS, while continuing to battle declining health. The combination of illness and earlier career setbacks limited acting opportunities during the final years of his life. Howard Rollins passed away on December 8, 1996, at the age of 46. Medical reports stated that he died from complications related to AIDS-associated lymphoma, a form of cancer linked to severe immune system suppression. His death represented another heartbreaking loss during a period when effective HIV treatments were still limited. Colleagues remembered him not only for his remarkable talent, but also for the dignity and professionalism he brought to every role. Although his career was shorter than many expected, Rollins left behind an impressive body of work that continues to earn admiration. His performances remain powerful examples of thoughtful, intelligent acting, while his life serves as a reminder that HIV/AIDS affected talented individuals across every profession and background. Today, Howard Rollins is remembered as an extraordinary artist whose contributions to film, television, and theater continue inspiring audiences long after his passing. Willie Ninja. Willie Ninja transformed ballroom culture into an art form that would eventually influence fashion, music, and dance around the world. Known as the godfather of voguing, Ninja became one of New York City's most celebrated ballroom performers during the 1980s. His breathtaking precision, graceful movements, and unmatched creativity elevated voguing from an underground dance style into an internationally recognized cultural phenomenon. Through the landmark documentary Paris is Burning, 1990, audiences around the world discovered both his extraordinary talent and the vibrant LGBTQ+ ballroom community he helped shape. Beyond his own performances, Ninja became an influential mentor, founding the legendary House of Ninja and teaching generations of dancers confidence, discipline, and self-expression. His innovative choreography later influenced artists including Madonna, whose hit Vogue introduced elements of ballroom culture to mainstream audiences. While many people celebrated the dance without understanding its origins, Willie remained dedicated to preserving the community that had given him purpose and belonging. Like countless members of the ballroom community during the height of the AIDS epidemic, Ninja eventually contracted HIV. Although he continued mentoring dancers and making occasional public appearances, his health gradually declined during the late 1990s and early 2000s. On September 2, 2006, Willie Ninja died from AIDS-related heart failure at the age of 45. His passing deeply affected the ballroom world, where he had become both a creative pioneer and a father figure to many young performers. Today, Willie Ninja's influence extends far beyond dance competitions. Modern fashion, pop music, and television continue drawing inspiration from the ballroom culture he helped popularize. His story reminds us that behind every cultural movement stand visionary individuals whose contributions often go unrecognized during their lifetimes. Despite the tragedy of AIDS claiming his life, Willie Ninja's artistry continues inspiring performers across the globe, ensuring that his extraordinary creativity and fearless authenticity will never be forgotten. Gil Scott-Heron. Gil Scott-Heron is widely remembered as one of the most influential spoken-word artists, poets, and musicians of the 20th century, often called the godfather of rap. He combined jazz, soul, blues, and powerful social commentary to create a style that inspired generations of hip-hop artists. His landmark composition, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," challenged political injustice, media manipulation, and racial inequality with a boldness rarely heard in popular music at the time. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Scott-Heron became a respected voice for social change, using his art to encourage awareness rather than entertainment alone. Despite his extraordinary creativity, Scott-Heron faced difficult personal struggles for many years, including substance abuse that repeatedly interrupted his career. Drug addiction led to legal problems, financial hardship, and periods away from recording and performing. During the final years of his life, he publicly confirmed that he was living with HIV. However, he consistently avoided discussing how he contracted the virus, choosing instead to focus attention on his music rather than his private medical history. Respecting that privacy remains important, as no reliable evidence establishes a specific source of infection. Even while battling serious health problems, Scott-Heron experienced a remarkable artistic resurgence. His acclaimed 2010 album, "I'm New Here," introduced his work to a younger generation and received widespread critical praise for its honesty and emotional depth. Sadly, his health continued to decline, and on May 27, 2011, he died at the age of 62 following complications after returning from a trip to Europe. Reports indicated that HIV-related health issues contributed to his declining condition. Gil Scott-Heron's legacy reaches far beyond the circumstances of his death. His fearless lyrics, poetic vision, and uncompromising commitment to truth continue influencing musicians, writers, and activists worldwide. His life reminds us that extraordinary creativity can survive even the most difficult personal struggles, leaving behind ideas that continue changing the world long after the artist is gone. Essex Hemphill. Essex Hemphill emerged as one of the most important Black poets, essayists, and activists of his generation, using literature to confront issues of race, sexuality, identity, and social justice with remarkable honesty. During the 1980s and early 1990s, his poetry challenged silence surrounding the experiences of Black gay men, offering powerful reflections on discrimination, love, resilience, and survival. Collections such as Ceremonies and Brother to Brother established Hemphill as a fearless literary voice whose work continues influencing writers and scholars today. At a time when many subjects remained taboo, he refused to compromise his message. As the HIV/AIDS epidemic devastated communities across the United States, Hemphill became one of its most outspoken artistic witnesses. Living with HIV himself, he transformed personal experience into poetry that humanized the epidemic and challenged prejudice. Rather than allowing fear to silence him, he wrote passionately about lost dignity and the urgent need for compassion toward people affected by AIDS. His essays and public appearances encouraged honest conversations about healthcare equality and the devastating impact of stigma, despite declining health. Hemphill continued writing until the final months of his life, determined to ensure that marginalized voices would be heard. On November 4, 1995, he died at the age of 38 from complications related to AIDS. Although his life was tragically brief, the influence of his writing has only grown over time. Universities, literary scholars, and civil rights organizations continue studying his work as an essential contribution to American literature and LGBTQ+ history. Today, Essex Hemphill is remembered not simply as a poet, but as a courageous advocate who transformed personal pain into lasting cultural impact. His words continue speaking across generations, reminding readers that empathy, truth, and artistic courage possess the power to challenge injustice. His life stands as a testament to the enduring strength of literature and the importance of giving voice to communities too often ignored or misunderstood. Yvette Wilson. Yvette Wilson earned the affection of television audiences through her unforgettable comedic performances, especially as Andel Wilkerson on the hit sitcoms Moesha and its spin-off The Parkers. With impeccable comedic timing and a warm, relatable personality, Wilson became one of the most beloved supporting actresses of the late 1990s and early 2000s. Her portrayal of Andel, a witty restaurant owner who served as both a friend and mentor to the younger characters, added humor, heart, and authenticity to every episode. Beyond television, she also appeared in films such as House Party 3 and Friday, steadily building a respected career in comedy and acting. Behind the laughter, however, Wilson faced a devastating health battle. In the years leading up to her death, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer, a disease that had spread despite treatment. Cervical cancer is strongly associated with persistent infection by certain high-risk strains of the human papillomavirus, HPV, although it is impossible to determine the specific source of any individual's infection. Throughout her illness, Wilson underwent chemotherapy and other treatments, while friends, colleagues, and fans rallied around her with financial and emotional support. Fellow entertainers organized fundraising efforts to help cover her medical expenses, demonstrating how deeply she was loved within the entertainment community. On June 14, 2012, Yvette Wilson passed away at the age of 48. Her death deeply saddened fans who remembered her not only for making people laugh but also for her remarkable kindness and generosity off-screen. In the years since her passing, her story has also helped draw greater attention to the importance of regular cervical cancer screening and HPV prevention. Today, Yvette Wilson is remembered for bringing joy to millions through comedy, while quietly displaying extraordinary courage during her final battle. Her life reminds us that early detection, access to healthcare, and public awareness can make a profound difference. Above all, her enduring legacy lives on through the laughter she created and the lives she touched throughout her career. Jessica Pettway built a devoted online following by sharing fashion, beauty, motherhood, and everyday life with honesty and warmth. As a popular YouTube creator and social media personality, she connected with hundreds of thousands of viewers who admired her authenticity and positive outlook. Rather than presenting a perfect life, Jessica invited audiences into her family's daily experiences, creating a relationship built on trust and genuine connection. Her openness made the heartbreaking news that followed especially difficult for supporters around the world. In 2023, Jessica revealed that she had initially been told she had fibroids, a common non-cancerous condition affecting many women. Months later, further medical evaluation confirmed a far more serious diagnosis, stage 3 cervical cancer. She publicly shared her experience to raise awareness about listening to one's body, seeking second opinions when symptoms persist, and advocating for appropriate medical care. While cervical cancer is commonly linked to persistent infection with high-risk HPV, Jessica herself focused her public message on the importance of early diagnosis and timely treatment rather than assigning blame or speculation. Throughout her illness, Jessica continued inspiring followers with remarkable faith, optimism, and devotion to her family. Her husband and loved ones regularly updated supporters while requesting prayers during her treatment. Despite receiving medical care, the disease progressed rapidly. Jessica Pettway passed away on March 11, 2024, at the age of 36, leaving behind her husband, children, and a community of followers deeply affected by her courage. Jessica's story became a powerful reminder that cervical cancer can affect women at a relatively young age, and that delayed diagnosis may significantly impact outcomes. Today, her legacy extends beyond social media. She continues inspiring conversations about women's health, regular screenings, HPV awareness, and the importance of seeking medical attention whenever symptoms persist. Although her life ended far too soon, Jessica Pettway's honesty and resilience continue encouraging countless women to prioritize their health and advocate for themselves. As we've seen, these remarkable lives remind us that HIV/AIDS and other serious health challenges never discriminate. They have touched athletes, musicians, actors, dancers, and cultural icons alike. Some fought with incredible courage, some helped educate the world, and others left us far too soon, but every one of them left a legacy that deserves to be remembered with compassion rather than judgment. Now we'd love to hear your thoughts. Which story moved you the most, and whose legacy do you believe had the greatest impact despite their health battle? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful story from Golden Black Legends.